Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello, Pastor Vic.
We've got 15 minutes before our next meeting. I know you
We need to
guys
get to
wanted to
church.
speak to us.
Got to get the
So-
service.
Yes, go for it.
Good start.
I'm fine. No, I'm joking. Okay.
You got a list.
Yeah.
You should be looking at the positive.
It is. It's actually very positive. Yes. So this one is regarding. So I'm often busy, early evening, busy finishing of work, obviously around 5, 6ish. So I'm not really able to do any, cooking or anything like that. It's either I cook and then I spend the rest of the night finishing up work, or I finish work and then we can all just eat late. So that's basically the reason why I don't really help, cook a meal or two a week or anything like that, because of the available time that I have. So the thing that's basically on my mind is, should I be helping Denise with the cooking? Because obviously lately she's maybe sorting out some stuff with work, and so she also gets quite busy. And on top of that, she also like sorts out the kids. She baths them, any school activities and stuff like that. Or, is it fine?
Is this just something you're wondering?
Yes.
Or has it been a source of conflict?
No, just something I'm wondering. No, there's big conflict. It's been, no, it's just something was on my mind.
How did you feel about this?
Would be nice, but I don't expect him to cook. It's not one of the things that I expect him to. I expect him to do other things, but
Like what?
cooking. Well, we have a schedule, so it's kind of like the next thing that we'll speak about. Well, that I'm gonna. So it kind of ties in. So we have a schedule of things. So Ryan normally does things like dishes and that, but because of his schedule or his work or whatever, or he's busy with his electronics, the dishes don't get done, or that kind of stuff. And it's important, and I can't leave it for 3 days, but I end up doing it because I get frustrated. So I don't expect him to do the cooking, but I do expect him to do the dishes, and it doesn't get done.
Doesn't get done, Vix. How do you feel?
Well, is that everything? Is that why you come to see us? Is there anything else? And I think we'll take it all together.
So that's another thing from my side. So it's sort of similar to that, but so from a perspective of Ryan is very he's very laid back. He's very laid back, and there's certain things he doesn't take urgent. So we did have a fight about this today. So there's certain things he doesn't take urgent as urgent, such as like the car and the water and the checking the oil in the water and the cleaning of the car and the petrol. I often have to drive slowly to a petrol station because there's no petrol, literally, no flashing light. And I do get upset. So I said to him, should I rather do it? Should I rather just take it and put the petrol in the car, because it does come from his side? But he keeps saying to me, don't do it, I'll do it. And then it just keeps happening. So that's the other thing from my side. Ryan.
I think, marriage is a challenging thing. And then when you add children to the mix, it becomes a little bit more challenging, because now it's two other people that don't care about your schedule, your plans, your needs, even if you're sick.
Yeah.
And children are selfish. That's why we have to grow up.
Yeah, I just wish we could tell some of the teenagers in the church that you should keep marriage for sex for marriage, because when the children come, they're very selfish.
And so you've got all these challenges, and then what happens?
If only the young people were here in the room with us.
So you've got all these challenges.
In fact, can we film a video testimony of
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, I can.
We'll actually put up a video about, because I think the teenagers need to hear, because they just, they think of sex without children.
That's fine, Pastor Gavin. Yes, Pastor Vix, I'm listening and stuff.
So you have all these challenges, and one of the biggest things in marriage is, it makes me think of that lesson of Proverbs 31 woman. No one can meet the requirements of it. But there is something about her. She gets up early. Now, you know, when it comes to supper time and you're still busy working and you've got all these things to still finish and it's supper time, it's children's homework, what happens? There's going to be conflict. And there's going to be conflict by default because you're both stressed and you've got 100 things to do, but it is time to feed the family and it is time to clean up the kitchen and has the homework been finished? And so what's going to happen is, instead of valuing that time together, you're going to be stressed. And so it's committing our plans to the Lord that they succeed, but then it's possibly going, so what happens, you end up going to bed late, possibly all of you, and all miserable, and you wake up feeling exactly the same way. And so it's actually sitting and going, possibly if I got up 30 minutes and after my quiet time, had my shower and actually started working, because it is important when it gets to supper, homework, there must be a time where the two of you are just sitting like you are now, gazing in each other's eyes without any fire there, because there's been fire in the house, and actually just being able to, even if you're just sitting together, or being able to either talk romantically or actually just share about the day. That is actually important. And possibly, and this is maybe the last thing I'll say, and then I'll hand over, I'm sure Gavin's got lots to say and that he'd like you to share with possibly the youth one day. But I would say this: use your weekends. And possibly, I'm going to just give you an example. On a Saturday, perhaps between 3 and 5, go, Ryan, between 3 and 5, let's get housework done. It doesn't mean things don't need packing and cleaning in the week, but it's your bulk time. Or while I'm doing this, while I'm cooking, go and put petrol and water and oil in the car every Saturday at that time. What it does is it makes you more organized, and from a cooking perspective, and I mean, he can help you with this, but it's actually cooking, and oftentimes we go, ugh, when I cook in bulk, the meals are revolting. They don't have to be. You know, it's actually making meat patties and packing them correctly and putting them in the freezer, and making different things like pastas and biryanis and things that, but every Saturday you do a bulk of something different, or 2 things, because that's easy. And between 3 and 5, it's cleaning, it's cooking, it's filling the car and washing the car, and then in the week, it's possibly pulling out the stuff to defrost and putting on some rice and getting the homework done, and it just relieves you from stress, and it makes you have family time together, because family time is important. It's important for your boys to see that, and it's important for you guys to have. So that's possibly a thought on my side.
Yeah, and Ryan, obviously we were speaking in the cell this past week, from Mark chapter 6, where, Denise, I want you to think about this now. You know when Jesus fed the 5,000? So imagine if he had just all of a sudden said abracadabra, whoop, and there was food, and then he said to the 5,000, that was only the men, not even including the women and the children, come and get it. What do you think was going to happen?
Well, it wouldn't have been enough if everyone had just, I don't know, take and take and take.
There would have been a stampede. Yeah. People probably would have died. Crowd that size, okay? So, in other words, you want to avoid the stampedes in your marriage. So what did Jesus do? Well, if you look, and I was thinking of this, I just opened up what I shared with you guys on Sunday. In Mark 6:39, it says, and Jesus directed them to have all the people sit down in groups on the green grass. And so they sat down in groups of hundreds and 50s. In other words, Jesus brought order. You see, obviously, when you got married, then you have children, multiplication comes. You get bigger. And so before the multiplication came, Jesus set up the order. And that's what you need to do. So, time management. Setting up blocks of time. like what Vic said, get the car sorted out on a certain day of the week, every week the same, because you want to get into a rhythm and a routine. Remember what it was like when you first started dating. Except now you've expanded, you've got kids, you've got this, you've got that, you've got jobs and all of this kind of stuff, which then you didn't have. So now you've got to organize it to be romantic and all of that sort of stuff. And then maybe you can gaze into each other's eyes a little bit instead of glaring.
Yeah, so I don't know if that helps you. Does that help? Awesome. We're proud
Yeah.
of you guys.
Thanks, once a week, supposed to get, but it's also